What's up, crypto junkies, crypto enthusiasts, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about crypto Twitter drama, I guess would be the best way to describe it. And really, I think this is an important video that a lot of people, my hope, and with your help, in the Twitter and crypto space see this. You gotta understand something. Let's start at the beginning. Well, let's cover this first. Is basically Crypto Medication, which I don't know who this is. I wasn't following him on Twitter. He exposed Crypto Signals, Crypto Gat, Crypto Dog, and a handful of others. An elaborate market manipulation group, a Telegram group that we're all gonna get together. They're gonna all throw 3 to 5 BTC in on lower cap coins that are just starting to hit the markets, that are on shitty exchanges still. They're all gonna work together and get it onto other exchanges, buy up a huge amount of the market, of the coins itself, and then be able to manipulate that market and, you know, create essentially their own pump and dump, for lack of better words or explanation. Now, the actual involvement, let me just say, it's not crystal clear for some people. Others, it is like they blatantly say, yes, I'm in. They blatantly have, there's a spreadsheet that you can see and they've sent money. And so for some people, it's like, yeah, you were involved. And others, you can't really tell. I don't think that's important of a detail. Right out of the gate, you're gonna have a ton of people who are like,
oh my God, I can't believe it. My hero was involved.
And now I have to unfollow him and he's a piece of shit and he's the world's biggest scammer. Low key, I think every crypto personality feels like a scammer. And that guilt is always driving them to like,
No, that's the scammer.
No, there's the scammer. It's him over there.
Right? Like, I can't tell you the amount of people who, over BitConnect, over all the lending platform stuff that I was involved in, that came to me and did the same thing. So what'll be more interesting is how they all react. Because we all have an ego, and to a degree, having an ego is healthy, but you gotta keep it in check, right? And I'm really glad that the lending stuff all fell apart, because my ego was getting a bit out of control, and I was starting to really think like, yeah, man, I know what the I'm doing. Like, I know this stuff. I'm good at this. No, man, come on. When the rug was pulled out from underneath me and I lost a collective over $200,000, which was majority of my portfolio at the time, what it made me realize is that it made me re-question and go back to the mirror again and look at myself and say, bro, you're not that special. Like, just chill out, you know, remember, be humble. Remember, like, my foundation, more like the rules that I have for living my life and investing, the guidelines that I use for getting involved in opportunities. Those like kind of washed away and eroded pretty quick. Like, I fell for FOMO just as much as everybody else. And I can admit that because at the end of the day, like, I don't take myself that serious. Any personality, especially in crypto, that, you know, is trying so hard to be the hero and have all the right answers and always be right, that guy, that girl will always lose. Crypto's a brand new market. Gotta remember that. We're still in the education phase of the market sophistication swing that we go through in markets. That, in comparison to selling razors and in the, you know, shaving market, look at what's required to sell something in the shaving market versus what's required to the personal grooming market versus what's selling in crypto space. Digital information products, education is selling 99% in crypto space. And the reason why is because it's a brand new market, guys. This is how markets work. If you don't know how markets work, you need to go do some research. A great place to start would be Eugene Schwartz, Market Sophistication Levels, which has been very widely studied. He was in advertising and marketing, but he understood the natural bell curve and waves that markets followed because he advertised for a very long time and he needed to understand psychology. If you don't understand that, you need to go research and read some books like that and research some people like that. But crypto's in its infancy, right? Still, I think that there's this innate guilt that we all have as humans, but especially in something like crypto, to where it's like, TA, I believe, works. I believe there's a lot of manipulation too. So TA can be proven wrong by the manipulation that's naturally occurring in this market. This is a normal thing. This ties into this thing that I don't like in society, in people, that is really running rampant lately in the last couple years, is that people will line up to be lazy, and they will follow Crypto Twitter head and follow his calls, knowing that they shouldn't, knowing that they should do their own research. There's disclaimers everywhere. The guy is literally screaming at you, do your own research, don't listen to me, this is what I'm doing, because he loves what he's doing, so he's got to be talking about it. If you love what you're doing, you're going to constantly be talking about it. That's his form of doing that, right? A bunch of people will follow him. Let's say it's a bad call. Those same people want to like go and prosecute this guy now. Let me find out where you live. Like, let me go kill you and your family and your kids. Like, what? What the f is wrong with you? And so there's this problem, which is where we outsource our thinking, but if it's wrong, God forbid, we then want to get in line over here and be a victim about it. And the US legal system allows that, which is part of the problem as well. Like, this annoys me, if you can't tell, is that accountability is missing. There's no one that's saying like, wait a second, like you allowed this guy to do your thinking for you. So your result is in the hands of fate at this point. Luck, whatever you want to call it. You can't do that over here and then get in this line over here and say, hey, I was a victim. No, oh no, that's when, oh Jay, you don't understand. He manipulated me. Really? So he forced you to do it? And again, that's a dismissal of accountability, right? Because you could make up a really good argument about like, no, you don't understand. There's like these mind tricks that exist, and we could get into the depth of NLP and persuasion and manipulation, right? I could make just as much of an argument about accountability and taking accountability for your own actions. So that is the underlying thing that all of this surface stuff triggers. When something like this pops, like crypto Twitter's going nuts right now, right? The crypto space is going nuts, like, oh my gosh, this bombshell. I just assume that this is happening on a much larger scale with probably all of my favorite people that I follow and I even look up to. Because one, they know they can get away with it. Two, the market's still brand new. Three, there's no regulation, which all roots back to one, they know they can get away with it. The moral compass question and the is this right, is this wrong, I don't know if that's the right question to be asking, because regardless of how you feel about this, it's happening. So you and I can sit around all day long and we can talk and complain, oh my God, he had the audacity to do this, but like, does that stop it? No, so that's not gonna like remove me from this market, and I could remove those people from my Twitter feed, but why would I do that? Because that's putting myself further in a bubble. That's me like further making an echo chamber for myself, which says,
no, I can only handle positive news. I can only be around, things that I like.
Make that most of what you're seeing. But if you can't handle the polarity, if you can't handle the people that are saying, hey, Jay, you're a f***ing idiot, maybe it's time to look in the mirror again. I like the constructive criticism that I get, because a lot of it like really does challenge me and really does get me to ask deeper questions. Some of it, like there's levels to this, right? Like some of it's just garbage, and I know that. But a lot of it is really helpful to me and triggers like self-actualizing questions. It's like, hey, this got me triggered, so maybe there's some truth there, But yeah, I'm not gonna remove all those people from my Twitter feed. And I'm not gonna like ignore that this isn't a reality in this market, because I wanna be in this market still. I wanna keep investing in this market. So if I want that, then I've gotta be able to deal with this. Otherwise, just leave the market. So just imagine what a lot of people just did off of this piece of news. They removed all these people and said, oh my God, he's the bad guy. Right? At the same time, they further made an echo chamber. They further put themselves in a bubble. So they're not going to know what's going on with any of these people, any of their followings, any of their communities, which puts them at a disadvantage to make strategic decisions. Especially if you're a day trader, a scalper, a swinger, right? It puts you at a disadvantage. If you're somebody who's just like bought into Bitcoin and some of the blockchain technology aspects of crypto, and you're holding on to this for 5-10 years, like, yeah, who gives a shit, man? Like, don't follow them. Like, you can have your opinions, and that's not gonna affect you that badly because you're an investor. But for a speculator, you're hamstringing yourself just by doing this. I thought it would be important to really talk about this because, I've kind of been where these guys are now, getting drugged through the mud based off of decisions that I made. I didn't realize how much authority I had, the weight of my authority. All those things became a huge reality the second that BitConnect crashed. And I think back, and I won't take these videos down because my past is my past. You guys know that I don't hide from that. I think I was incredibly naive on that first video, that live stream that I shot. Like, it still hadn't really sunk in, like what just happened. But I'll tell you what, everybody else told me about it really quick, and all the people that were just waiting,
Oh my gosh, yes, it finally collapsed so I can go and say,
F you, I told you so. All those people came out, man. And that's not really fun for especially the ego, but the self-image, you know, and people can be insanely brutal. My feelings on this is it's not that I don't care, I'm just indifferent about it, because I already assumed that it was happening. To know like, oh, these guys are in this specific group and here's what they were looking at doing, okay. That's the depth of what I think about it. I know that this was probably triggered, you know, there's a lot of what I noticed lately. I looked at some of the Phil Laccone stuff going on with ICO Journal, and you guys saw I retweeted some of that stuff and reposted the video for him to help get the word out. But I think a lot of this is just male ego. It's not that I don't have male ego, but I've just been through a lot of shit. There's like this transcendence that occurs in consciousness level that is unlocked, upgraded, whatever you want to call it. And that's not an insult to anybody, but there's different consciousness levels on this planet. That's just how it is. I've been through maybe more than other people, which has led me to look at myself differently, to have a different viewpoint on the world. I don't know how you want to like summarize that whole thing. What I see from the outside looking in is just like a bunch of egos being triggered. And then like this guy feels small, he goes and buys followers, they call him out, he's triggered, oh my gosh, let me expose him. All of this stuff is just going to be ongoing in crypto. It's going to be ongoing. Oh my God, let's expose the bad guy. Because again, like crypto as a whole is still called a scam. It's called a big Ponzi. So whenever we can find like, no, that's the actual bad guy, we're going to attempt to shine a light on that person, that coin, that brand, that company. And that won't go away until this whole market is, one, more regulated, more normalized, there's more money in it, and it starts to level out. The volatility is creating a lot of these swinging emotions. You know, let's call it. But yeah, right now you'll see, my prediction is that you'll see more and more of this coming out as the inner people in crypto all start throwing mud at each other. So this is the start of it. It will get much worse. There will constantly be this exposing happening.
The guy gets kicked out of the group. Oh no, f them, man, I'm gonna get them back, right? Because justice.
And you know, then this group gets exposed. Your favorite guy who you thought was so innocent and pure. And that is also a problem with being the hero and painting yourself as the hero instead of the guide. This is a fundamental issue that we see in the world, but we see with people who don't know how to market. So people who don't know how to market will constantly position themselves as the hero instead of the guide. You position yourself as the guide, and that might be the biggest tip in this whole video for other influencers that are watching this. But if you've been positioning yourself as the hero, you've been fucking up, because the people watching your video are the hero. So if they're watching a video and they're like, well, wait a second, like this guy's the hero, but I'm the hero. I'm the hero of my story. I'm special. I'm unique. I'll come back to him. Like, I like what he's saying, but I'll come back to him because I'm searching for what? Help. A guide. Position yourself as the guide. And the hero is them. And your job is to call out the problem that they're facing, paint a clear picture on how you can help them get to the solution. Make sense? Anyway, now I'm getting into marketing talk. I love marketing. That's why. Just ad nausea. Look at the length of this. And it's gotten a ton of shares. It's all over Twitter. All the people involved making official statements soon. Yeah, so, you know, make your own opinion. Obviously, go read this. Don't let like the images that I've shown on the screen, the faces and names that you might have seen, like, oh no, now I can't trust this guy. Like, go read it and make your own decision from there. And that's the best thing that I can say. Yeah, 180 votes. Go check it out, read it, do your own research, and formulate your own opinions, my friends. And then you'll be able to make your own informed decision and go from there. That's it for this video. See ya. If you like what we're doing on the channel, take a second, hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification.
this just in.
Crypto Junkies is now over 1,000 people. Over 2,500 people. We now have over 3,000 people. 4,600 have crossed over 5,000 people in our Discord chat community.